Jump in the Cadillac, girl, let's put some miles on it. Anything you want, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby, you deserve it all. And I'm gonna give it to you. Gold jewelry shining so bright, strawberry champagne on us. Lucky for you, that's what I like, that's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what. It's Beauty, and I'm back with another video. Yes, I know, guys, I've been gone for the longest. Like, I'm so inconsistent with YouTube. Like, I need to do better, honestly. But anyways, by the title, you guys, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, by the title, I'm gonna be giving you guys tips, advice, and I'm gonna be sharing my experience with you guys about being a godly teenager. I know this is a weird topic for me to be talking about, but I feel like, you know, it's a good topic to talk about, and I want to talk to you guys about it. And I've actually got a request to talk about, you know, God and, you know, godly things and stuff. So it's not like I'm just doing it out of, you know, me personally just wanting to do it. It was actually requested as well, but I felt like I could have not done it still, but I feel like, you know, I want to do it. So, and then when I got the idea, well, when that person brought the idea to my attention, I was like, I think I kind of want to do that. I'm gonna tell y'all how this video is gonna go. I'm going to tell you guys my experience, and then I'm gonna give you, okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys my experience, like I was saying, and then I'm gonna give you guys 7 tips that I thought of in my head, 7 tips that I thought were important with being a godly teenager, you know. So these topics aren't in a specific order. I just wrote them down, but if I were, I'll probably put them in a order. Let me put them in. So I put all my 7 tips in an order from what I think should happen first to your 7th step. And I didn't choose 7 for a specific reason. I know you guys are thinking, okay, 7 is God's number, which is why I probably chose it. That really isn't the case. I literally could not think of any more after the 7th one. Like, I was literally struggling. So yeah, it's not no specific reason, I just couldn't think of any more. But okay, so let me talk about my experience first. So my experience with being a godly teenager is basically that it is not easy at all. It is very hard when it comes to well, the 7 steps that I'm about to share with you right now is the reason why it was so hard. And just going down that path, just making the decision to, you know, do certain things, to be able to be in a place where you're happy with yourself, where you feel like God is happy with you, all of that is just hard in general. And nobody ever said that it was gonna be easy, so I don't know why anyone would ever think it would be easy, because it's really not. And if you think it's easy, you're sadly mistaken. You need to review everything again and rethink that and come to a conclusion that it's not easy, because it's not at all. It's probably the hardest thing ever. And yeah, so my experience is basically these 7 steps. So with me going over these, I'm probably gonna put in some experience that I had, some experiences that I had while I'm giving you guys the tips and advice. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So this is my book, guys. You guys like it? I got it a long time ago, and I like how right here is gold and it have little like crosses in it. Wait, where's the page? Did I lose the page? Oh, okay, yeah. So in this book, I basically write, like, sometimes I write issues that I have, or prayers, or it's basically my venting book, honestly. And I really don't like when people try to read it, because I have some real deep stuff in here. Like, do not touch this book. If you ever see me with this book, do not touch this book, please, because no, just don't. But anyways, okay, guys, so the first tip, the first advice, and the first step I have down here, now that I put it in order, is to be nonchalant about what people may say or think about you. Okay, so basically what I mean by that is when you're doing the rest of the steps, don't worry about if people are gonna like you anymore, if you're gonna be a part of the cool crowd, or if you're gonna have friends, if you're gonna be popular. Don't be worrying about what other people might think about you, what other people might say about you, how people might treat you afterward, how people might look at you differently. Some people might be like, oh, she thinks she all this, she thinks she all that, she thinks she's so righteous, she thinks she's so good, or whatever. Because, you know, and everybody has felt this feeling before, where someone around you is the goody two shoe and you feel jealous because they're good, and you kind of want to be where they are. Like, you kind of, and I've been in that place with someone before, and me and that person's actually really good friends, honestly, right now. And we've been good friends back then. It's just that now I know her to a more personal level, and, you know, we're like this. But I've been in a place where I wasn't really doing too good spiritually, mentally, you know, myself, period. I wasn't doing good at all in life at all. And this person, she was just, you know, so pure. She was just so her path was just so straight. She was just holy. She was just, you know, and I was honestly jealous because I wanted to be like that. And because of that, I used to try to count her out, or like not be as close to her as I was to other people, because I felt like she would judge me. Or, you know, when you're around people like that and you know that you're not doing right, you kind of get an uncomfortable feeling. And yeah, so don't worry about if people start to feel that way about you. Don't feel no way if anybody tries to talk about you bad, because sometimes when people feel hurt, they like to say stuff that tries to hurt your feelings or try to knock you down. But you got to make sure that you're nonchalant about everything. You unconcerned, you unbothered, like nothing gonna bother you. You just got to make sure that you on top of your stuff. So, and another experience for me is that I have a problem with wanting or needing to know, or being so concerned about what other people think about me. And that's the big issue that I struggled with throughout my life, period. And to this day, even sometimes with certain things, I have a need to know, like a urge, like a craving to know what people think about me, or to know if somebody would like this, somebody would like that, am I doing this good, does it look good? And I have an issue with not being confident enough to tell myself if something looks good, or if I'm doing this right, if I'm doing that right, or nonchalant. The second step is morals and standards. So second of all, since this is the second step, you have to make sure that you know what you want to do. You have to make sure you set your standards and say, okay, I'm gonna be like this, and I'm not gonna let nothing knock me down to not being at that level. Because, you know, sometimes, like, for example, let's say you want a prom dress, right? And you know exactly every detail you want on your prom dress. You know how you want it to look. You know how much rhinestones you want it. You know how much feathers you want on it. You know where you want the lace. You know if you want long sleeve, short sleeve. You know what color you want it to be. You know what length and everything. And you went to a store and you seen a dress that is exactly how you want it, but instead of long sleeve, it's short sleeve. It doesn't have as much rhinestones as you want, and it's a little off with the color, but you get it anyways. For example, that's like setting a standard but settling for less. That's what I mean by make sure you set your standards and you stick to your standards, because that's also like saying, okay, I don't want to curse no more, I'm gonna stop cursing, period. And then just because you went throughout your day and you slipped up and you said the S word, now you're just gonna keep saying the S word, because now it's just like, okay, I ruined it, so I'm gonna just keep going. No, that's not setting a standard. Once you set a standard and you make a mistake, you got to make sure that you stick with your standard either way. So number one is setting your standards and setting your morals. Make sure that you know if you're planning on, okay, let's say in the Bible it says, well, this is one of my morals. This is one of my strong morals that I hold on to so dearly, so tight. One of my morals, and one of the morals that's in the Bible, is to make sure that you do not have sex before you are married. And that is a moral that I stick onto so strong. I will never give that moral up. I will never stoop down so low that you know, I let go of that moral. Like, that's just one moral that you will never catch me slipping on. You feel me? Like, so yeah, just make sure you set your morals. Make sure that you don't settle for less. Well, not settle for less, but make sure that you meet up to your standards. Make sure that you don't fall short or whatever. So that's the second tip that I have for you guys, or the advice or whatever. The third one is to also set goals. Like I was saying before with the cursing, let's say, okay, I'm gonna try to go 2 months without cursing, and you go 2 months without cursing, and then you finally realize that now you have a habit of replacing curse words with better words, you know, like certain stuff like that. Or let's say you want to be a preacher. You have a gift for preaching, you have a gift for teaching. Let's say in a month you want to come up with three sermons or 3 lessons. You want to study the Bible, you want to get all the information that you need, and you're going to have 3 lessons or 3 sermons. Set goals for yourself. Like, what's another one? Let's see. Let's say you're a musician or you're a singer. Let me use singer because I'm more familiar with that. So let's say you're a singer. You're going to try to be on the program to sing every time you go to church, or twice out of every month. You're gonna try to make sure you're on the program, you have a song ready, you sing, and you just do your thing, right? That's what I mean by set goals. And I know set goals, when I first said set goals, it may have seemed the same thing. It may have seemed like it was the same thing as morals or standards, but as I'm giving you examples, that's just to let you know what the difference is between moral standards and goals when I say that. So yeah, that was the third tip, advice, or step. The fourth one is your environment and your surroundings. Make sure that you, okay, this is where before you even get to this step, you have to make sure your standards and your morals are up to par, because this is where it becomes hard in this journey. Okay, when I say environment and your surroundings, that means if you're trying to be godly, if you're trying to be holy, if you're trying to be good with God, that means that you have to make sure you're listening to the right music. That means you have to make sure you're not going to certain parties. That means to make sure that you're not condoning certain behavior around you. You have to make sure that your environment and your surrounding is Christ-like. Like, you have to make sure that if you know how some people, I'm not gonna say that saying until I get to the 5th step. Okay, so basically just make sure that you don't put yourself in a position where you're gonna fall short, is basically what I'm trying to say with that. If you know that you have an addiction with drinking, and in the Bible it tells us that we are not to get drunk, period. Like, it was even, I think it was a story of a father and 2 sons or something, when their father was drunk and the 2 sons went in the room and they saw him naked or whatever. And yeah, it was something about not being drunk. I don't know if that's the story that I'm looking for, or if it's just like a verse that was talking about being drunk. But if I find it, I'll probably put it on the screen somewhere or something. But yeah, so if you know that you have an addiction with being drunk, or if you know that, you know, it's a problem for you, and one of your goals, one of your standards is to stop getting drunk, to stop drinking, period, why would you go to a party with liquor all over the place? that's like setting yourself up for failure. And if you, especially if you know what's right, that makes it even 10 times worse. Like that's what I mean, just by making sure your environment and your surroundings is up to par. Because you can't be trying to be on a good, godly, Christ-like walk with God, and you over here at a party shaking your butt, singing along, talking about some I don't F with you. Let me stop. But I'm saying, like, not to say, I'm not saying at all that I haven't been there. I'm not saying that at all, because if I were to say that, that would be a straight up lie to y'all. Because I'm not here trying to say that I'm perfect, but I feel like I'm good enough to help people that's a little further like back. So even though I'm not up there and I'm still down here, I'm trying to help the people that's down here, you feel me? So I'm not saying at all that I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I'm close to up there or nothing, but I'm just saying, because I've experienced things, I've gone through what I had to go through for me to be able to even get here at all, because it's a privilege to even be right here, even though the top is all the way up there. It's a privilege. So I feel like, you know, with me being right there, it would be great for me to give back and, you know, let other people know what's up, help people out, because I know I'm not the only one that's striving to be up there. So I'm trying to help some of y'all out. So don't be trying to judge me talking about some, oh, you know that you used to curse, you know, you used to sing all that. That's not the point. The point is that I'm trying to help you guys, because I know I've been there and I've done that, even though I'm only 15. But that doesn't make anything any different, because y'all know, y'all out of all people should know that at a young age we experience so much. We go through love, we go through so much experiences, we go through, just at a young age we're just exposed to, and we just do everything. Some people smoke, some people drink, some people steal, some people are into sex and whatever, some people curse, some people, it's like, it's even some young strippers now, like just for fun, like they just be dancing on posts or whatever. But I mean, y'all know that y'all out of all people should be the ones that should relate to me, because y'all know that at a young age we go through a lot. So yeah, I'm not trying to say that I'm perfect or whatever. I'm about to get back on topic. But I'm saying, make sure that your surroundings are up to par with your standards. Make sure they're up to par with your morals and your goals. So this is one of the hardest parts, is to just make sure your surroundings are up to par. Because I say it's one of the hardest parts, because if your friend be like, yo, you want to go to this party with me, you're gonna be like, my friend in this party? Or disobeying God, and then I could probably come back home and repent and think everything all good and sweet. That's gonna be one of your hardest decisions, especially when you're getting to know God and you realize that He forgives you for everything that you do as long as you come to Him and repent. That's when stuff really starts to hit you. That's when temptations really start to happen, because now in your head you're thinking you can do whatever you want, and then you could just come back and be like, okay, God, I'm sorry, I promise I won't do it again. And you feel like, you know, you have a lot of time to get right. But at the same time, when you know better, you do better. And if you don't, dealing with God isn't lollipops and gumdrops, okay? You don't want to get on His bad side. That's the thing, like, you really don't. So if you know better and you think you can outsmart Him, it's not gonna work, okay? I just want to let y'all know that. Don't think that you can do other stuff, come back and repent, and think everything's all Gucci. No, you're only gonna be playing tricks on yourself. I've been there, I've done that, where I thought that I was outsmarting God, and I was just like, I'm gonna just get right later on in life, you feel me? Like, I have so much more time. But after I said that, my breath could have been taken just like that. It's that easy for him. Like, he is a loving God. He wants the best for us and whatever. But at the same time, do not mess with him. He's not to be played with. Like, don't be trying to do all that extra stuff. But anyways, let me move on. This is the 5th step. This is relationships, friendships, and people in general. So this is something that you could also struggle, that you may also struggle with a lot, is cutting people off. It wasn't really that hard for me because growing up, I wasn't really the it girl. I wasn't really popular. I wasn't really in that crowd anyways for me to have to cut so much people off. But if you are that type of person, you might as well just delete all your contacts, because you and I already know that everybody in your contacts is just gonna lead you to failure, basically. I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. Everybody that's cool, everybody that's popular, you guys are not good people. And the people that you surround yourself with are also just like you, which is what makes you popular. It's what makes you cool, because you fit into that category of being that type of person. So if you're that it girl, if you're that it boy, if you're popular, if you're cool, just go ahead and delete all your contacts, like now. Go ahead and cut some people off now. Go ahead and delete some messages now, because yeah, y'all already know. These little relationships, these little friends, especially if you have a little boyfriend, if you got a little girlfriend and you know they're not good for you, if you know that y'all probably be in his room, or if y'all be in her room doing stuff, then just go ahead and cut them off. And what helps me when I have to make hard decisions is, who do I love more, God or these people? How are they gonna benefit me when God comes back? When it's time for him to say, you know, you made it, or depart from me, for I know you not. You feel me? Like, what's gonna matter the most then, God or those friends, those relationships, those people that you decide to associate yourself with? From this video, I feel like I want to talk about this more, because there's a lot of things that come from us growing up in church and what we've been told from the truth. You feel me? So I feel like I need to make more religious, godly videos, because there's just so much for me to say, and so much knowledge that I have that I need to, like, you know, get out there, that I need to share with people. So I'm gonna be doing more of these videos. Anyways, off topic again. The 6th step is to build a relationship with God. Building a relationship is not only just praying to him and saying, you know, God, I love you and good night, and go to sleep. No, it is not that. Building a relationship with him is the same way you would build a relationship with your friend. Okay, let's say you really want to get to know somebody, and the best way for you to get to know them is if let's say they wrote a biography about themselves, an autobiography about themselves. Is that it? I forgot which one is if you write it yourself or if other people write it for you. But anyways, they have a biography of themselves. And the best way for you to get to know them is if you read the biography and you find out who they are, and you also talk to them, you know, verbally, and spend time with them. It's the same way for God. Getting to know him is reading his word. In his word, it tells you exactly who he is. It tells you the type of person he is. Well, the type of, I don't know if I should call him a person, but it basically tells you who God is. It tells you, you know, him at his worst times, like, you know, when he's, you know, not too friendly with people. It tells you his best times, you know, how he blesses people, how he just, like, you know, anoints people, how he heals, how he delivers, and all that extra stuff. So reading his word is a big part in getting to know him. And also just having conversations with him. It's not just about, you know, getting on your knees and your hands like this. Listen, you can have a regular conversation with this man, and sometimes, like, he'll even answer you back, like, literally, like, you just hear somebody talking back to you. All you have to do is just talk to him. Even if your answer doesn't come as soon as you want it, like, you feel me? He hears every prayer. Like, no prayer overrides another one. Somebody could be praying with all these big words. They could be praying so formally, you know, it sounds so good. But just because their prayers sound like that doesn't mean that your prayer that's like, God, we gotta talk. Listen, this person is doing this, and I need this to be done, da da da. Just because those two prayers sound different doesn't mean that one is any more important than the other one. God hears all prayers. And you know, it's not just about being formal, getting on your knees, doing this. You could just be by yourself in a room. It's not about getting on your knees. It's not about going to church, going to the altar. You know, it's not even all about that. It's basically building a friendship with him, building a relationship with him. When you're talking to your friends, you're not like, thou shalt not touch thy hand. That's not how you talk to your friend, is it? No. You have to talk to him as if he's your real friend, because he is, like, you know, he's your father. He's like, you have to build a relationship with him. So that is my 6th step. And my 7th and last step of being a godly teenager is to be patient. Patience is so important. Be patient, have faith, and to trust him. Because when you're going through these 6 steps, when you're going through these 6 stages, sometimes you can have so much doubts. You could be like, I'm doing all this and I'm probably not even gonna make it in the kingdom or whatever. You could be like, so much thoughts will be like just running through your head, period. And you just have to learn how to cope and just trust him. Just make sure that you trust him. And when you're doing these 6 steps, trust me, you're not just gonna be sitting there clueless. He's going, if you do these steps properly, he's going to show you that he hears you. He's going to make sure that he lets you know that he got you. You feel me? Like, you're not just gonna be there waiting. When I say be patient, I don't mean do all these steps and then just sit back and then like just wait. By the time you get done with half of these steps, he's already going to be revealing himself to you. It's not just you're going to be doing these steps for no reason. You're just going to be like waiting and stuff. No, he's going to be dwelling in you. His spirit is going to be manifesting, and you're going to notice changes. But anyways, yeah guys, so like I was saying, make sure if you guys want to be a godly teenager, if you guys want to have some steps that you want to follow or something that will help you to strive to have that relationship with God, to be a godly teenager, you feel me? Then I feel like these are some steps that you could begin with. I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I'm just trying to help you guys out. I'm trying to say that I'm to that level where I feel like I could help somebody else that was in the place that I was in before. So yeah guys, these are basically my 7 steps on being a godly teenager, and I hope you guys liked it. And do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I love you guys so very much, and I will see y'all in my next